In the cool part of the year in 74, probably the fall, early winter, Laurel River Lake was done, finished. They'd worked on it from 1964 to 1974. And it was impounded and slowly filling up. Back when the project was done, Corps of Engineers and the Forest Service scheduled a ceremony, a dedication. And right here is where the stage was set up, right in this area, right here. As seen in this next picture, you can notice these rocks coming around through here. They used to extend further out through there. I think they ended up taking some more out to expand the parking lot and build that little restroom there. This next picture, you will notice that area right there coming down, and this high wall here, and a whole lot less trees, and of course no guardrail in the photographer's shot taken the day of the dedication. I'll show that to you right here. Today we're familiar with this little observation deck right here above the top of the dam, but you follow this rock formation right around through here, you will see that the stage was setting about where that car's sitting there. Back during those days, it was a huge, tall communications tower they constructed right here. If you've ever been up there, there's a remnant of that still there. If you've ever come up here to this little picnic shelter, observation deck, whatever it's called, and notice this big round thing here for no particular reason. It's probably a long ways down into the ground and they left it. It was a part of the communications tower that sat here. It was like a little transmitter hut sitting right here close beside it. I'm sure the Corps of Engineers set that up so that construction crews could communicate with each other with two-way radio. Would have been the only way they could have reached each other in this vast wilderness when the project was going on. Some of those old pictures, this rock formation went much further around through here, and you can see where it has been cut into and chipped to build the stairs and the restroom facility over there. The stone has been, it's sandstone, and it's been cut into and chipped away, but it used to extend around through there quite a bit further. As evidenced by some of the old pictures. The picture where the men are standing unveiling a placard for the dedication of Laurel Lake Apparently there used to be a whole lot larger area to stand here, but there's the place where the placard used to be. I'd say that thing got stolen early on. They were standing about right here. Now it's on the back side of the guardrail. They would have been posing on the edge of falling. But I'd say that it's all been rerouted, drain pipe put in. A lot of things changed when they built the little shed there, and the restrooms over that way. This is where they were standing the day of the dedication. Of course, it took 3 more years to build the power plant structure down in the bottom. I really like the picture that I'm about to show you, where you can see the road bed being formed, which went right around through there. It's just amazing how many trees have grown here in the last 45, 48 years, however many years it's been. You know, lots of people don't realize that, of course, the water shoots underneath the intake tower over there and comes down underneath the dam and into the power plant. But once you get to that point right there below, it doesn't take long before the Laurel River returns back to its natural appearance. I mean, literally just not 100 yards, 150 yards down the river from the power plant. The river pretty much looks like it always did. But you don't want to be down there when the siren goes off. In the early days, the road ended right here at this parking lot. You didn't go any further. You couldn't go on toward Grove and to Corbin. The parking lot stopped right here. Several years later, they built the Glen Carey Memorial Bridge right over the top of the spillway. And this is the spillway. Sometime probably in the 80s, they built the bridge over the top of the spillway, right on the rock bed. But through the mid-70s, in the late 70s, the water, before the power plant started operating, particularly in 77, the lake would fill and the spillway came in handy often. There was almost always about a foot of water going over that concrete pad. And of course, people would come down here and lay around on the high rocks, walk across the spillway, and it was always extremely slick with a little layer of moss growing over it. That concrete pad, probably 74, 75, 76, even into 77, before the power plant started drawing water, the water always poured over this spillway. Those of you who've been down here during flooding have seen it go over it before. It's pretty spectacular to see. But it was a common thing in the mid-70s for the water to trickle and drop down to the creek below the spillway and back toward the river. Some interesting hiking down there for sure. But don't go during snake season. You can imagine what this is like when there's just water pouring everywhere. Back during my senior year of high school, we'd often come down here and find the places on the high rocks where the water was just going around you. People would lay out on the sun on the high rocks, and it was treacherous to get to them. It's a wonder we didn't all wash over this thing. Used to be some incredible swimming holes down there. You get down to the bottom and hang a right, and it's probably a half a mile on down to tie back into the river. It's beautiful country, a beautiful gorge down through there. The danger of Spillway Beach is that people don't understand the depths. But when the water is up, obviously it's up higher than it is now. But this is not a gradual drop. It is a sudden drop. I mean, it literally, from where the water level is now, about another 6 feet from the edge of that water, 6 to 8 feet, it drops straight down. It's like you're standing on the edge of a cliff, and it can go down to 180 feet, 160, 180 feet real quick. If you don't know how to swim, you better have on life preservers when you're swimming at this bad boy. You can see there's a little darkened area right in there, 6 or 8 feet out into the water, where all of a sudden it just turns into a black abyss. It's because it's dropping straight down right there. You just got to remember that on the other side, where the powerhouse is, it's that far down here as well. So they bored quite an amazing tunnel through the rock down below to get to that point where the water goes through there and turns the turbine and then is released right back out to the river. But that tunnel goes from the intake tower all the way down to the power station, power plant. Very interesting before and after shot right here. The intake tower. Not sure how tall that thing is, but it goes to the bottom of the lake. And then of course the tunnel goes all the way under, across, under the ground, way down below, to the power plant below. So, Laurel River Lake. Put up a dam and create area for recreation, electricity production, and a water source for the citizens of the area. And has been serving us for 45 years or so. Well, if you could move that big, huge concrete monstrosity of a building out of the way right there, you'd see the tunnel in this next picture. Always wanted to go in there and see that operation. Of course, I'm sure that they don't give tours. An amazing construction project. After the lake was impounded in '74, it took another 3 years to build this. But after we're finished producing electricity and using what water we use out of it and skiing and fishing, very quickly all the water that we don't use is back in its riverbed, headed down to the mouth of Laurel to join the Cumberland River.